Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Question. Swamiji, it is mentioned that between thoughts there is no time. How does one recognize the falsity of time? In meditation, the feeling of time does disappear. We have only heard about relativity of time, space, curvature, and speed of motion. Speed of motion? How does one recognize the falsity of time? So, false or mithya is a word. What is mithya? Mithya, which is that which is relative, which is dependent upon time and place, meaning that which is there at a given time and not there at another time is limited in time, and that would be mithya. So now when you say that, in meditation the feeling of time does disappear. That means that there is no feeling of time in meditation, even in deep sleep state also. In deep sleep state also, there is no awareness of time. Which means that time is not real. That which is called real or satyam, which is abaditam, non-negatable, which cannot be negated. Cannot be negated in time, cannot be negated in place, just cannot be negated. And time gets negated in deep sleep state. Therefore, it is not real, it is not absolute. There is only one thing that does not get negated, and that is the self, the consciousness. Throughout the waking state, the consciousness is because I am conscious of things. What I am conscious of keeps on varying, but that I am conscious is an ongoing fact. Similarly, in the dream also, I am conscious of something. What I am conscious of varies, but that I am conscious of does not vary. In the deep sleep state, that does not seem as though I am conscious, but I am. Because when I wake up, I say that I slept well, I did not know anything, which is considered to be memory. And memory must be preceded by a previous experience. So this statement of mine, when I say I did not know anything, I slept well, meaning I was happy, that is a statement of memory, which refers to some experience which I had in deep sleep, experience of not knowing anything, experience of knowing nothing, or experience of happiness. Meaning that there is consciousness is present even in deep sleep state also. So when the waking is, dream is not, so dream is negated by waking. When the dream is, waking is not, deep sleep is not. So each state is mutually exclusive, meaning that each state replaces or negates the other two states. When waking is there, dream is not there, deep sleep is not there. Meaning that the waking negates or displaces the other two states. When dream is there, waking is not there, and sleep is not there. When sleep is there, deep sleep is there, waking is not there, dream is not there. So we can say that each of the states is mutually exclusive. They exclude others. But then, throughout the three states, the consciousness is very much present. The consciousness is the only thing that is non-negatable, cannot be negated. And what cannot be negated is called satyam, is called real. Therefore, there is only one thing that is real, and that is consciousness, the self, or Brahman. Everything else is subject to coming and going. Including time also comes and goes. In deep sleep state, time goes away. Waking state, time comes. So what is subject to coming and going is relative. It is not absolute. It is mithya. So question is, how does one recognize the falsity of time or mithyatva of the time, unreality of time? By the experience of deep sleep state. Or, as this question also says, in meditation, the feeling of time disappears. Meaning that in meditation, when there is no awareness of anything, there is no awareness of time also. Means time is negated. What is negated is false. And that's how you determine the falsity or mithyatva of time. You have heard about relativity of time, space curvature and speed of motion. So Vedanta concerns itself with the reality of life. The relative reality and absolute reality. Or we talk of the three levels of reality. Absolute reality, objective reality, subjective reality. What is absolute reality? That which is there in all the three periods of time. Meaning that which cannot be negated in time or place. That is, as we said, consciousness, the self, Brahman. What is the relative reality? It's called Vyavaharik Satta. It's called Paramarthika Satta. Absolute reality. The relative reality is what we are experiencing. This is the Vyavaharik Satta, in which we can transact. So this waking state is equally available for experience of everybody. Therefore it is called objective reality. Meaning that the world is, therefore I perceive. The object is, therefore I experience. So that is called objective reality. So what we call waking is called objective reality, sometimes called Ishvara Srishti, the creation of Ishvara. Compared to that, dream is Jiva Srishti, individual creation, subjective creation. So, as far as my dream is concerned, I am the only one who has the entry in the dream. I am the only perceiver of dream. You have no awareness of my dream. And therefore, dream is a subjective projection, individual projection, Jiva Srishti. Thus we accept these three degrees of realities for the purpose of analysis. So we are not much concerned about curvature of space and stuff like that. It's all relative reality. Within the relative reality, there can be all kinds of, all kinds of details, all kinds of discoveries. But the fact remains that all of that is within the realm of the relative reality, objective reality, mithya. So both objective reality and subjective reality, both are mithya. Mithya alone is for the purpose of convenience, categorized into these two categories, objective and subjective. But as far as mithyatvam or unreality is concerned, both of them are mithya or unreal. And therefore, the Mandukya Karika lumps them together into one category, that it is the agrahanam and anyatha grahanam, meaning not perceiving and perceiving wrongly. That criteria applies to both waking and dream state. So this is Vedanta's approach to the reality of life. Because we are primarily interested in the absolute reality. We are not so much interested in analyzing and bothering about details of this relative reality because they are all mithya anyway. But the reason why the mithya should be known as mithya is so that we can know satyam or truth as truth. Because yesterday the question was asked, Swamiji, how do you determine the Mithyatvam? The point is, as the Upanishad says, that the reality is one without a second. Ekameva dvitiyam, secondless one, or one without a second. Now, if that one is reality as revealed by Upanishads, and our experience reveals manyness, so how do you reconcile with our experience of manyness or duality and the non-duality, which is what the Upanishad reveals? How do we reconcile? Both cannot be real. One and many, both of them cannot be right. Therefore, one is right, other is less right. Meaning, one is real, absolutely real, other is relatively real. Only when the duality is mithya, then alone the non-duality of Satyam can be understood and established. Is that clear, or any questions on this? This is a good question, that even though the objective world is the same in front of us, and still everybody's perception is likely to be somewhat different from the perception of others. Meaning that what we perceive is objective reality. But the way we perceive is, we always superimpose something upon what we perceive. Meaning that I perceive a person, I superimpose the idea, this is a friend. Now that is my personal perception. This is a good fellow, not good, watch out. So, same person is perceived objectively in a similar manner by everybody. But the interpretation is different with different people. Therefore, in every perception or in most of the perception, this projection of individual projection or subjective projection is Jiva Srushti is involved. Meaning that we rarely perceive things as they are. We perceive them with our own glasses of projection, our own insecurities, our own inadequacies, our own fears, our own needs. All of these also color my perception, and therefore prevent me from perceiving things as they are. I perceive them with my own personal projection. So, therefore, Ishvara Srushti and Jiva Srushti. What is Ishvara Srushti, creation of Ishvara. And what I see is Ishvara Srushti plus my own personal projection, Jiva Srushti. So what is binding? Ishvara Srushti does not bind us. It is the Jiva Srushti that binds us. What creates unhappiness in our life is not what is. What creates unhappiness is the way I perceive it, the way I interpret it. It is my interpretation which is the cause of unhappiness. The wrong interpretation is the cause of unhappiness. Right interpretation will be the cause of happiness. The wrong interpretation, cause of bondage. Right interpretation, cause of freedom. So that's how it is. Anything else on this topic? Yes.
Mind, intellect, intelligence, wisdom, logic, that's how some operates. Can that grasp the true reality?
So question is, by the methods of observation and analysis that the science adopts, is it possible to grasp absolute reality? Answer is no. First of all, as far as science is concerned, This is reality. The object reality is reality. Even though they talk of absolute reality, they also talk. The theory of relativity explains to us that the three-dimensional world that we see is a projection of a world of reality enjoying larger dimension. But as far as Vedanta is concerned, even that also is mithya. That also is relative. Whatever can be perceived is all relative. Because what can be perceived is, it is there now. When I perceive it is there, when I do not perceive it is not there. So whatever can be perceived is relative, is subject to coming and going. Whatever can be perceived, conceived in my mind also, even through a mathematical equation. Whatever I can conceptualize, all of that falls in the category of relative. Absolute reality cannot be comprehended by mind because it is limitless. So why cannot? So the other day, Dr. Krishnamurti says, our Puja Swamiji's meditation. Visualize a pot in meditation. Visualize a mango. Visualize consciousness. Can we visualize consciousness? No? Why not? Consciousness is the very essence of the one who is trying to objectify. And therefore, one cannot objectify oneself. Very good. Meaning that by the methods of investigation that the science employs, what we call absolute reality can never come in the purview of the investigation of science. And a scientist does not seem to take into account consciousness anyway. They take into account what is observed and analyze that and then arrive at the understanding of that. But their equations do not include consciousness. As far as science is concerned, consciousness is the property of matter. They would think that consciousness is created as a result of combination of matter. That's what they say. Meaning consciousness is the manifestation of matter. We say that matter is the manifestation of consciousness. Meaning that our idea of consciousness and their idea of consciousness also is different. And so, absolute reality, which is consciousness, cannot come under the purview of physical sciences.
What is conscious? Why?
Well, what is consciousness? Consciousness is that because of which you are conscious of things. You are conscious of me. You are conscious of, what you perceive. So just as, when can I see this object in my hand? When that object is illumined by light. I can perceive something with my eyes only when that object is illumined by light. So light is that which illumines objects because of which I perceive the object. Next question is, how do you perceive light? How do you perceive a thought? You are aware of the thought. So there is something, some light that must be illumining the thought. There is consciousness. So consciousness is the illuminating principle that it illumines everything because of which you are conscious. And the consciousness is not different from you, by the way. In dream, we do not quite negate the time. In deep sleep, we negate the time. Not for you. When you are fast asleep, there is no time for you. No, the point is this. You are withdrawing into a realm where time has no entry. Time goes on in a different level. Not where you are. There time has no entry. You are withdrawing yourself into a chamber where time has no entry. When you come out of that, time is entry. Then time is there. Gone on for whom? Not for you. Your body has gotten older, that's okay. But you're not aware of it. You realize that you've gotten older when you come again to that relative reality. So from the waking to the dream to the deep sleep, you are going into a deeper and deeper chamber. When you come out of the chamber, then you are aware of what is available in that chamber that is waking. No. You are not aware of time. There is no time there.
And by the same token, Swamiji, you're not aware of anybody either.
Nothing. You are not aware of yourself, not aware of anything else in the deep sleep.
So, Swamiji, does that mean that the body ages in time, but when you go into deep sleep state, you're not within that body anymore at that point?
You are not identified with the body.
You say you're not aware of anything. You're not aware, even consciousness, you're not aware. When we come back, memory, we say we slept regularly. So that time, what happens? The consciousness is there. We're not even aware. The awareness.
What happens is, for being aware of something, not only you require consciousness, you also require mind. But since the mind is not there in deep sleep state, therefore you are not. So even though consciousness is there, mind which is required for particular consciousness. There is general consciousness and particular consciousness. General knowledge, particular knowledge. In the waking state, we have particular knowledge. Because the mind and sense organs, they particularize things. The dream also, we have particular knowledge because we have dream mind and dream sense organs. In deep sleep state, consciousness is there, but there is nothing to particularize that consciousness because the mind and sense organs are not there. So you are not aware of anything in particular. In deep sleep state, you are not aware of anything in particular. You can't say you are not aware. But because mind is not there, sense organs are not there, you are not aware of anything in particular.
The same thing happens in meditation also. So how does meditation not be realization? So what does that mean? That's also a particular knowledge or
Yeah, it is a particular knowledge of recognizing that limitlessness that you see is yourself. That recognition.
How do we know in the morning that we slept? When mind is not there, consciousness is there. We are asleep. Mind is the one which tells us this happened, that happened. Is there a little mind there? Or
There is what they call the subtle thoughts arising from ignorance. Ignorance is there. Deep sleep state, ignorance is there. So they are not the thoughts of mind, but thoughts of ignorance, because of which you become aware in a way, because of which you have experience, is what you recollect when you wake up.
So the consciousness is a constant. It is the illuminator. When a person's mind goes out of track, mental disorder, all these things happen. Consciousness has no role
Consciousness is like light. All kinds of things can happen in presence of light. Light simply illumines what is. Light does not change or does not dictate or determine anything. Light simply illumines what is. So also consciousness illumines what is. It does not influence anything.
Body function.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a brain function. All this desire is a disease of brain.
I have a question related to this, but with concerning Yoga Nidra. So in Yoga Nidra, your body is asleep, a deep sleep, but you're aware. You keep your consciousness, but you're asleep. And so in that sense, how would that relate to what we're discussing right now? Do you know?
See, Yoga Nidra is said to be a state of half sleep and half awake. Meaning that you're not totally sleeping, you're awake. Same time you're sleeping to the world and still awake to yourself.
Kind of like a witness.
Right. Yeah.
But in that state, it's easy to learn.
It's a state of mind, basically.
But it's much easier to learn foreign language or anything new or instructions like from the moon or receptive. So in that state, your body is actually asleep. Physically you're asleep, but you're at a conscious state. I'm not sure what you would label it, but you're at a conscious state where you're a witness to your own mind, but you're also very receptive to anything coming in. So, for example, if you're teaching your foreign language or teaching instruction, it goes in very, very quickly, very quickly, and when you wake up and you come back, you can actually put it into action.
So you are, when you say body is sleeping, you are not aware of the body. Yeah. You are not aware of the whole mind. For the mind also, all the disturbing factors have gone away. You are only aware of that part of the mind which is silent and receptive. So mind is there, but mind has attained that silent receptive state. Because of which you are aware but not aware, meaning that you are not aware of any particular things, but you are aware in general. And probably that is a state of mind when it is receptive, as you say, to receiving the knowledge, etc.
So you would still say it's consciousness. It's a type of consciousness.
It is still the state of mind. Yoga Nidra also is the state of mind. Consciousness is no state, it illumines. The mind passes through different states. Waking is a state of mind. Dream is a state of mind. Daydreaming is a state of mind. Yoga Nidra is a state of mind. Deep sleep is a state of mind. Consciousness illumines whatever state of mind it is. Consciousness doesn't dictate, doesn't change. Yeah.
So, and usually after the Nidra, you come back to it, it's like you feel like you slept, even though maybe your body was asleep, maybe just a few hours. You feel like you slept 8 hours. You have lots of energy and you're very alert.
Right.
So, yeah, I have another question. So, it's concerning mantra, and when during the day, like when you're observing your thoughts, you're watching your emotions, and you're being a witness, is it also acceptable to have your mantra playing in the background, and even while you're sleeping? So when you wake up, the mantra is still going on. Do you recommend that?
Quite good. Is good?
So
Yeah.
do you recommend the mantra, or if so, what type of mantra is?
Mantra can be anything. If you have an Ishta Devata, if you are worshipping a particular deity, a mantra of that deity would be recommended generally because you are in association with the deity. You have a certain feeling for that deity, and so that mantra would also invoke that feeling of devotion. So,
So you pick your own, or is it?
well, they say that you should get a mantra from your guru. That's what they say. And so then you can meet, and then, it's something that is a private session, not a public session. Yeah.
Can I ask another? You mentioned devotion. So with can we, like, for example, let's remove Bhagavatam. Can we look at Sri Krishna? Can we change that to Ishvara? Is Ishvara comparable to talking about Krishna and for example, and if so, then how does Radharani fit into that whole?
See, Krishna is the incarnation of Ishvara only. Ishvara, incarnate in a particular form, is incarnation. So Lord Krishna is one of the incarnations, and therefore he represents only Ishvara.
I read also that Krishna is actually, that Ishvara is actually Krishna in the absolute form. That Krishna has the personality, the physical form, and the absolute form. And that Ishvara is Krishna's
Absolute form of Krishna. That absolute form manifesting as absolute form you call Brahman, manifestation of it is called Krishna.
So it doesn't matter, Ishvara or Krishna, we're talking about the same thing.
Yes, we are. Yeah.
So how would Radharani fit in? As far as, let's say, Ishvara, which we know Bhagavatam.
Yeah, see Ishvara with his Shakti. So generally Radha is considered to be Bhakti. Bhakti means devotion. Always invariably associated with Krishna. So Radha stands for Bhakti.
So if we talk about Ishvara, it's okay to talk about Shakti as well.
Shanti,
The Shakti.
Shakti. Yeah, depend Ishvara with attributes, yes, with Shakti. Ishvara without the attributes doesn't even have Shakti.
The state of mind and consciousness, Jivan Mukta, Sthita Prajna, this state of mind probably has less of this particulars that you're talking about. Is that right? Or how is this state of mind?
The state of mind of a Sthita Prajna or wise person or Jivan Mukta liberated while living is he enjoys a mind which is pure, maturity. He observes, he perceives what you and I perceive. His mind is described as Vita Raga Bhaya Krodha. His mind is free from Raga, Dvesha, Bhaya, Krodha. Attachment, aversion, fear, anger, all these impulses are all not there. His mind does enjoy all the positive qualities of love and compassion, and that's how he functions. So he functions as a regular person. He perceives as everybody else, but he doesn't project. Normally with Ragadvesha we project. He doesn't project. So therefore he is objective. He appreciates things as they are.
People like Samartha Swami, they're all shown with, where they are sometimes shown as people who were not aware of what others perceived them as. So they were, eating food from off the street or things like that. They were sort of shown as people who did not really concern themselves with what was served to them. Just
Concerned with what?
what was served to them.
Mm-hmm.
There's stories of them having gone and eaten off the food that has already been eaten and thrown away. So these people who are revered in, say, Maharashtra, we have Swami Samartha, there is Sai Baba. What do you say? How do we see them?
No, it's quite possible that these great people have some spiritual powers and there are manifestation of some special spiritual powers that they have. So different saints may display different kinds of powers.
So, but they weren't even displaying their powers. They were just living and people were sort of adoring them.
Displaying means that's part of them, so it's evident too.
But when they are not aware of their bodies, they could be dressed anyhow. How do you differentiate between a person who is not in his senses and one who is left not aware of the body?
It's a matter of choice. Whether he wants to live in the world with awareness of body or not is a matter of his choice. Okay, let us proceed to the next one now. Since human birth is considered precious and rare, and since the world's population has been increasing, does it indicate that overall awareness is increasing? Is there such a thing as collective human consciousness? Now you see, this is a question that often arises as to how come world's population is growing. Where are the jivas coming from? But you see, the law of karma tells us that a jiva gains a series of embodiments one after the other according to karma. So it is possible that many jivas have gone through the embodiments of some other creatures and have come back to human form. So there are countless. The point is, jivas are countless. Human beings are not the only fellows. Out of all animals and all kinds of creatures, is countless jiva. Something shifting from there to here and here to there, that's why the numbers keep increasing or decreasing. But overall awareness is increasing means what? I don't know how to interpret that, but... Huh? Overall awareness. See, awareness of individual is a state of mind. So number of minds are increasing, and that way number of things are increasing. Awareness doesn't increase, that doesn't decrease. If awareness is a state of mind, then more minds are there, then more awareness of more things are there. That you can say. Is there such a thing as collective human consciousness? You see, in the process of creation, it is said that there is in the beginning the unmanifest, called the Prakriti or Pradhanam or Prakriti. From that comes the cosmic intelligence or totality of intellect. It's called Mahat Tattva. From there comes ego. So Mahat Tattva can be considered to be the total buddhi, total intellect, total consciousness. And we are all influenced by that, meaning that our individual consciousness is influenced by the total consciousness, the total knowledge. Right, you can say. For a spiritual person, due to normal memory loss, due to age, would this give him any advantage or disadvantage to allow him to live in the present moment more peacefully? But you see, living peacefully is not connected to memory. Living peacefully is connected to having settled account with one's own self. One is peaceful when one is satisfied with oneself. As in case of Sthita Prajna, it is said, Atmaniyeva Atmana Tushtaha. One who is Tushtaha, satisfied with oneself by oneself. So that is what creates the peacefulness of the mind. It is self dissatisfaction or self non-acceptance is what creates agitation in the mind, disturbance in the mind. But when there is total self-acceptance, there is nothing but peace. Thoughts can be there, but still there is peace. There is peace is freedom from conflict. Conflicts are created because of the lack of self-acceptance. When there is self-acceptance, satisfaction, there is no conflict. Therefore, there is peace. Therefore, the wise person enjoys peace, not because of memory, but because of having discovered the total satisfaction with self. So, if memory is more or less, his peace is not a function of memory. Peace is a function of having discovered oneself as whole, free from lack or want, and therefore there is peace. And there is not memory, it is yourself. Memory is something that you remember, but just as that I am is not a matter of memory. But today I am so and so also not a matter of memory, it's a matter of knowledge. And therefore, the peace that a wise person enjoys is a result of his knowledge and not a result of memory. Therefore, memory is more or less would not make difference.
So, there are so many Swamis that preach so many different things, both here and in India. How do we know who we should follow?
So many Swamis are there, how to know who we should follow?
Some say something, some say some different things. Different people say different things. How do we know which?
Generally speaking, it works out. You find a tuning up with a particular Swami. Usually it works that way. So, rather than your decision of following a particular Swami, you find yourself following a particular Swami, in presence of whom you feel a peace of mind, you feel an acceptance, you feel comfortable. Your mind says that here is a person. So when you have that inner comfort, you follow that Swami. But we cannot describe, because if a particular Swami is followable, then everybody will follow him. But there's nothing like that. However great a Swami is, not everybody follows him. Meaning that there is a tuning up that takes place between a Swami or Guru and Shishya. And you wait for that, or you pray for that. Well, if it has not happened, let us say, you can pray for that to happen. People do go to, there are stories of people having gone to Kumbh Mela. You know what is Kumbh Mela? Kumbh Mela is a huge occasion in India, an event where thousands and thousands of sadhus come. And of course, hundreds of thousands of devotees also come. So people used to go to Kumbh Mela to look for Guru. Some people found somebody. But he found not because he had some description in his mind. He found that because it worked out. So it has happened. How to decide who to fall in love with? Tell me. Is there a description? It just happens, isn't it? So it's something like that. But all you can, if nothing else, you can observe, and if you find certain minimum qualification, that the person is kind, compassionate, is not self-centered, is charitable, giving. Even if you find these basic qualities, you can follow. You can serve a person like that. And if that is not the person for you, by that grace you will find a person. Follow? Now comes a very technical question. How does Vedanta view gay couples? Are they trapped at the physical level? The Vedanta doesn't have anything to say, or we have to interpret Vedanta. Meaning that I do not know whether this issue is addressed in one of the Smritis or not, I do not know. There are famous texts and famous Smritis. To my knowledge, I do not know the mention of gay couples, etc. So I do not know whether they have to confront this issue or not that time. But I do not find it being addressed, as best as I know. There's a vast thing and I don't know if somewhere it is addressed. As best as I know, I do not find. So we have to then ourselves interpret what we understand. Where is the spirit of the scriptures? So now, I do not know whether this is a subtle issue or not. Whether this is a natural tendency or an acquired tendency. If it is a natural tendency, you have to accept it. What is creation of nature, you have to accept it. If it is not creation of nature, then it's a matter of opinion, But I think they say that it is something which is natural, not something that is acquired. Meaning that you are born with these tendencies. If this is so, then we have to respect that. And, accept them, respect them without any grudge or whatever. Are they trapped at the physical level? As I said, if it is something natural, it's not trapped at physical level, it's also emotional and everything. When someone gets seemingly undeserved promotion at work, seemingly undeserved promotion at work. So it's already a judgment here, by the way. That is undeserved. How do you fully accept this situation? So we already judged that it is undeserved promotion. Means it's not accepted. Alright, you know that this person does not deserve and still the person has got promotion. All we can say is, it is the karma, it is the prarabdha that person has, because of which the promotion has come. Although we may not find anything in the immediate past or past that we know which can justify this promotion, then we have to say that it is also due to some purva karma. Explaining the law of karma, a very beautiful example is given that here is a farmer who cultivates different crops in different seasons. That farmer has a huge storage silo. And whatever harvest is there, he dumps it in the silo. At the bottom there is an opening from where he takes it out. So in monsoon, he has the harvest of rice. Then comes winter, harvest of wheat, again he dumps. Then the harvest of corn, again he dumps. So you see this man dumping the corn. When he opens the bottom, he gets rice. Now this is unseeming, the seemingly inexplicable. But he could not get rice unless he had put rice at some time. Even though right now he appears to be dumping corn, but sometime he must have put some rice in there. Similarly, when a person, in this case promotion, he must have put in something sometime in the past, because of which he gets the result now. And thus, we accept this law of karma. What is law of karma? That there is a basic fairness. That's called law of karma. There is fairness. There is no unfairness in the basis of in the creation. So unfairness may appear seemingly, but that is because our observation is confined to a certain period of time. We do not know what existed before that. We do not know what will come after that. At the most, you know a person in this lifetime, but we don't know what the past was. We don't know what the future will be. And therefore, what is happening in the present has a bearing in the past. We don't know what that past is. What the person is doing now will have bearing in future. What the future will be, we do not know. But it's a law of cause and effect. So the promotion is due to karma. In the present or in the past. You may say, as our Swami, he says, well, he has a brother-in-law someplace. Even though it is not deserved, he is a brother-in-law. And because of it, but brother-in-law also is a part of qualification. Understand that, That's a part of qualification. So he has qualification, because of which he got promotion. Brother-in-law means somebody, godfather, somebody. Because of whose grace, he gets promoted. That is also part of qualification, part of karma.
So, typically we say that your punya is from something in the past, or past karma, and so in this life you get the punya. But for some people, that punya may be they're born into a wealthy family, or they marry somebody wealthy, or something like that. But when you observe that the life, where that wealth takes that person, it oftentimes takes them away from their sadhana, away from Ishvara. So, in a sense, what's called punya is sometimes like a reverse punya. It's like it's meant to be a blessing, but it actually becomes a curse. So I'm still a little puzzled by, when they say, okay, you did this in your karma, in your past life, you did the deeds, so you get wealth in this life. Right? So I think it's in I forget where I'm quoting from. But if you take that and then you look at how people use that, use the wealth, it's often not to improve their sadhana or to further their spiritual development. So it actually can take them away from. So in a sense, it's not. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's supposed to be, but it ends up being like a double, almost like a backhanded compliment. You know what I mean? Can you explain?
Yeah. See, punya is of two types. Punya comes when you perform a good action, a virtuous action. But whether the virtuous action is performed with an agenda or not. So you can make a charity with a prayer that may my son, Lord, I'm making this charity to you. May my son get a good job. Meaning it's called sakama karma. A virtuous action also performed with a desire. So that kind of punya will result into wealth as one of the examples. But that wealth is for enjoying the pleasures, because that is what he wanted as a result of punya. Other kind of punya is when you perform a virtuous action without any expectation of personal reward. You call it nishkama karma. Karma performed without desire for a personal reward. That punya will help you in your spiritual growth. So it is possible now. You're quoting from the 6th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, where Lord Krishna says that Arjuna asked this question, what happens to this person whose sadhana is cut off because of death? Lord Krishna says, whatever is done, he never goes waste. He is born and he continues from where he stopped here. Some people are born in cultured and wealthy families, and from there they continue. Some people are born perhaps in poor but wise families. The second birth is considered much more desirable than the first one. First one is because when that fellow died, some desires remain. Some desire pleasures remain. Therefore, he has to go through the experience of pleasure before he gets connected. Other fellow had no such desire, therefore, he starts right away as he is born. So where are the karma stored? And who gives the results? Karma is all stored in our own mind. Call it subtle body or call it mind. So every karma that you perform leaves its impression. These impressions are like seeds. And when you sow a seed, the seed will someday result into a bush or a flower or a tree or a fruit. Similarly, every karma leaves a seed, which will someday result into a fruit called karma phala. Now, when the fruit will be is dependent upon the seed. Meaning that when will you get the result of your karma and what will be the nature of the result is determined by what kind of karma you performed. And so, who decides? The universal intelligence, Ishvara. He decides. Universal intelligence. He is a super computer. What kind of a computer is this? Which has the memory of all your past births. All the births which are, to come in future. So what is the appropriate result of what kind of karma, under what conditions, what time, what place, all of this is determined by that computer. It's Ishvara, because Sarvajna or omniscient. So Ishvara decides the result of the action. And we carry with ourselves the samskaras or impressions of the karma that we perform. So when the soul jiva transmigrates from one embodiment to the other, he takes along with him all the baggage that has been collected. And with that baggage, that jiva is born. Part of the next life, some baggage may be spent, some more baggage may be collected, and so in next embodiment, he carries that. You see, when you perform karma, it is your free will that you use to perform a karma. You decide what you want to do. Why do you want to do? All that is free will. You have a choice whether to perform a certain karma or not. If you want to perform it, whether it should be karma with desire or without desire, all the choice is with you. So that's where the free will comes.
Going back to the example where a person was born in a rich family, so he created his own karma, taking himself away from his sadhana.
No, because he wanted pleasure in life. He had no intention of sadhana. When he performed the virtuous action also, he had no intention of sadhana. He had intention of, of enjoyment, of pleasure. So that's what he gets. If on the other hand you perform karma as a means of a sadhana, then you will be in that kind of a situation. That's why Lord Krishna says, forget about the past. What do you do now? make sure they do such that it helps your growth in the sadhana. Meaning that perform nishkama karma. Actions without selflessness. Selfless action and not selfish actions.
Swamiji, then we are just aware of our actions. We're neither a doer nor, we're just observer, not the doer of the action. So does this law of karma then just fails for a person who has reached that?
If there is no doership
Or an enjoyership.
then he does not get if he doesn't get the effect of that karma, but karma will have a universal effect. You created some effect, it will not come to you.
Right.
Yeah, it will go in the universe.
So then the law, there is no, there is no law of karma then.
For that person.
For that person.
So it is relative then?
What is relative?
Karma, the law.
Everything is relative. It's in the realm of
Falls
mithya
in
only.
the realm of the
Yeah,
Shiva.
it is, yeah.
So she mentioned devotion, but how to do selfless service to Ishvara in the absolute form. I can understand, like, for example, with Krishna in the personality, the personal form, if there's a puja, Krishna arati, flowers and offerings, right, and prasad. So, how do you do selfless service to Ishvara in the absolute form?
There is no service to Ishvara in absolute form. Service always is to a relative form.
So is it alright to, if you have your babies and do personal?
By all means. By all means, it's all right.
So,
There also people do this puja, etc., with an intention that Ishvara, God, please give me this.
no.
Yeah, so that will be sakama karma. That will be karma with desire. But you just do it as an offering. Right. That's niskama karma.
So does it matter that it's like Krishna and Radharani, or is that alright? Just the-
Whatever you please is all right. Quite all right.
What is the effect of chanting in relation to the comparison to meditation? Is there any sequence of the meditation possible?
What is, say, meditation?
And chanting. So, is there any sort of relationship in comparison between that? Is there any sequence you have to do?
Is meditation better or chanting better?
No, yeah. No.
Sequence, Swamiji. First chanting should come or first meditation?
As Upadesh Saram says, Kayavan manah karyamuttamam. The act of devotion performed at the level of body is the first stage. Act of devotion performed at the level of speech, second stage. Act of devotion performed at the level of mind, third stage. So yes, what is done at the level of mind or meditation or mental worship is superior to the oral worship, is superior to the physical worship. That sequence is there.
Actually, I want to understand how the whole thing
Started.
how the whole thing
What whole thing? Which whole thing?
the whole universe. Because unmanifested form. So what is that? And then we read first came Akasha. So how it came, why it came,
Now you are asking to any, how or why? What do you want to know? How it came or why it came?
What is that first thing, that unmanifest form? Why is there? So let's say it's not there, nothing will be there. All this craziness will not be there.
But you won't be there to ask a question also. Yeah, so what's the fun?
Just don't go there.
What's the fun? Fun is only if you are there to ask a question. And I am there to give the answer. There's no life. So there's no fun if there's no life. So that you can have life, that this is all there. So that you can live properly and you be happy.
The mystery someone should understand. That mysterious thing.
What is which mysterious thing?
The first thing, unmanifest potential form, but mysterious thing. Like people write the Big Bang Theory or in Vedanta they say Akash, Pramakash, we just kind of wrote Pramakash.
Vayu, Agni, Apaha, Prasivi.
These rishis, what they say in meditation, they learned all this in meditation.
This was revealed to them.
Yes,
He revealed it to
it
them.
was revealed. There is something mysterious. But why?
If you want to call it mysterious, it's the cause. Why do you call it mysterious? Causal state. All right, before everybody walks away, I think we'll conclude here at this time. We'll meet in the evening. Yeah. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha Hari Om